On 9 May 2023, former Pakistani Prime Minister and politician Imran Khan were arrested from inside the High Court in Islamabad by National Accountability Bureau on the charges of corruption in connection with the Al Khair Trust, which he owns alongside his wife, Bushra Bibi. Imran Khan has been ousted as Pakistan's Prime Minister after a vote of no confidence in Parliament. But what led to his downfall? When Imran Khan was elected Prime Minister in 2018, he seemed to have almost everything in his favor. A national hero from his cricketing days, he had transformed into a charismatic politician and, after years of struggle, managed to supplant the two rival established political dynasties that had dominated Pakistan for decades. No prime minister has ever completed a full 5-year parliamentary tenure in Pakistan, and Imran Khan looked as though he could well be the first. The reason his position appeared so secure also helps explain his downfall. It's widely acknowledged he came to power with the help of Pakistan's powerful army and intelligence services. And now he has fallen out with them. Mr. Khan undoubtedly had significant genuine public support in 2018, but he also had the covert backing of what in Pakistan is referred to as the military. The army has either directly or indirectly controlled the country for most of its existence, and critics labeled Imran Khan's government a hybrid regime. His chief opponent, Nawaz Sharif, was first disqualified and then convicted on corruption charges. Many suspected that Mr. Sharif had indeed been involved in corruption in the past, but the real reason he was being punished at this stage was his own falling out with the army. After coming to power, Mr. Khan, by contrast, proudly proclaimed he and the army were on one page when it came to policy decisions. The results worried civil society activists with a spate of attacks and abductions targeting journalists and commentators critical of both Mr. Khan's government and the intelligence services. Mr. Khan has insisted his focus is on improving governance, and he has made some impressive expansions to the social welfare system, introducing a health insurance scheme in large parts of the country, for example. However, in other areas, he has faltered. His decision to appoint an inexperienced and underqualified political newcomer to a key position, Chief Minister of Punjab, the country's most populous province, was widely ridiculed. There were other challenges too. The cost of living in Pakistan has been rocketing up, with sharp rises in food prices and the rupee falling against the dollar. Meanwhile, his opponents were becoming increasingly vocal in their opposition to the military, naming the army chief, Jean Bajwa, and the head of the intelligence services, Is-i-Lt Jean Faiz Hamid, as being responsible for selecting Imran Khan to office. The dynamic changed dramatically last year. A number of observers told the BBC the army began to grow increasingly frustrated with Mr. Khan's failure to deliver good governance, particularly in Punjab, and perhaps at how they were being publicly blamed for bringing him into power by the opposition. Why was Khan arrested? Pakistan's government says he was taken into custody for not cooperating with authorities in an ongoing corruption investigation. The case alleges that Mr. Khan, while he was the PM, received land as a bribe in exchange for political favors. It revolves around an investigation conducted by Britain's National Crime Agency into laundered money by Pakistan's biggest property tycoon Malik Riaz Hussain. Mr. Hussain allegedly gave the land to the Al Khair Trust, which was set up by Mr. Khan's third wife, Bushra Bibi. Mr. Khan, who denied the charges, said that the land had been donated for charitable purposes. Mr. Hussain denied laundering money, but his position on the question of land for favors is not known. He appeared before Pakistan's National Accountability Bureau investigators earlier this year and recorded a statement in the Al Khair Trust case, but it has not been made public or reported in the media. Since his arrest, Mr. Khan has been indicted in another graft case. This one alleges he did not disclose money he earned by selling gifts he had received on foreign visits as PM. A hearing in this case saw charges pressed for the first time against Mr. Khan, and he pleaded not guilty. Analysts believe that now that he is in custody, courts might indict him in a series of cases. a fate he has repeatedly avoided by either missing the appointment or appearing in higher courts, heavily guarded, only to apply for protective bail. Leaders and supporters of Mr. Khan's Pakistan Tehreek Insaf party argue this is proof of the Army's involvement. They say the arrest has little to do with corruption charges and everything to do with Mr. Khan's ongoing public battle with the Army. He has accused the Army and the spy agency, the Inter-Service Intelligence, of conspiring to assassinate him. He survived a shooting last year. The country's generals, who have seized power 3 times since Pakistan's independence in 1947, have long played a prominent role in politics. Mr. Khan, too, was believed to have their support as he rose to power. But the privilege of his birth, his fame born of cricketing glory, and his charisma drove his popularity far higher than anything Pakistan has seen in recent years. When he was ousted as PM, many believed it was as much the result of his poor track record in office as it was a falling out with the Army. But he quickly went on the offensive, criticizing the Army and embracing a populist narrative that resonated with people. And he did this loudly, holding rallies and marches that drew massive crowds and campaigning for local elections, most of which his party went on to win. Now, with the military's gloves off, Mr. Khan's supporters say the Army has crossed a red line, that of the former PM himself. And as public anger turns against the Army, Pakistan is witnessing an unprecedented moment. In a statement, the military said 9 May would be remembered as a dark chapter and warned of an extreme reaction if protesters carried out more attacks on military and other state installations.